Monday, July 28th, 2025, began as any other evening in Midtown Manhattan. The city pulsed with its usual energy, streets filled with honking taxis, hurried footsteps, and the distant hum of conversations. Office towers glowed against the fading light, their windows reflecting the promise of another ordinary night in the city that never sleeps. At 345 Park Avenue, employees wrapped up their day, the lobby buzzing with routine activity. Some chatted about dinner plans, others scrolled through their phones, eager to leave work behind. Security guards nodded to familiar faces, and the revolving doors spun steadily as people exited into the warm summer evening. Suddenly, at 6:30 p.m., the ordinary was shattered by the crack of gunfire. The sharp, echoing sound cut through the lobby's chatter, freezing everyone in place for a split second before chaos erupted. Panic erupted as the lobby transformed from a place of business to chaos. Screams filled the air, and the once orderly flow of people turned into a frantic scramble for safety. People ran for their lives, abandoning belongings, desperate for cover. Briefcases, purses, and coffee cups were left behind, scattered across the polished floor as employees ducked behind pillars or rushed for the exits. The sense of security vanished in seconds, replaced by terror and confusion. Faces once relaxed with end-of-day relief, now twisted in fear as the reality of the threat set in. News of an active shooter spread rapidly, sending shockwaves through the city. Within minutes, sirens wailed outside, and news alerts flashed across screens in offices and homes as New Yorkers tried to make sense of the unfolding tragedy. For those trapped inside, survival became the only priority. Colleagues huddled together in dark corners, whispering reassurances, their hearts pounding as they waited for help to arrive. The rhythms of a normal Monday were gone, replaced by a night that would scar all who witnessed it. The echoes of fear and confusion lingered long after the sirens faded, marking this evening as one Midtown Manhattan would never forget. As gunfire echoed, survival instincts took over for hundreds inside the skyscraper. On upper floors, people fled their desks, seeking any place to hide. Conference rooms, offices, and closets became makeshift sanctuaries. Colleagues worked together, barricading doors with whatever they could find. In the darkness, cell phones glowed as people sent desperate messages to loved ones. "I love you," read many texts, brief, raw, and possibly final. Jessica Chen, hiding with co-workers, recalled the chilling silence and distant sirens. Fear and hope mingled as everyone waited, praying the gunman wouldn't find them. Across 44 floors, hundreds huddled in fear, clinging to hope for rescue. Shane Tamura, 27, arrived in Manhattan after a cross-country drive, his motives unknown. He double-parked his black BMW outside 345 Park Avenue, signaling intent. Dressed to blend in but armed with an assault rifle, he struck terror into passers-by. Without warning, Tamura began firing into the lobby, shattering glass and calm. Pedestrians scattered, the city's routine upended in seconds. Tamura's attack was broad and indiscriminate, designed for maximum chaos. The building, home to the NFL and Blackstone, was a deliberate, symbolic target. His violent journey ended in Manhattan, unleashing a night of terror. Once inside, Tamura moved with chilling purpose, spraying the lobby with gunfire. Officer Didarul Islam, stationed for security, confronted the gunman and was killed instantly. Wesley Lepatner, seeking cover, was also fatally shot, along with a third unidentified victim. The lobby became a scene of carnage, with little chance for escape. Tamura then ascended to the 33rd floor, spreading fear throughout the building. There, another life was taken, expanding the tragedy beyond the ground floor. Craig Clementi, an NFL employee, was critically wounded while trying to leave. Tamura's rampage left 4 dead, 1 gravely injured, and a city in mourning. The skyscraper's sense of safety was shattered from lobby to upper floors. In a single, devastating moment, 4 lives were lost, each one a world of memories, dreams, and love, now forever missing from the lives of those who cherished them. The pain of their absence is felt not only by their families, but by entire communities who must now grapple with futures forever changed. Officer Didarul Islam, just 36 years old, died a hero while protecting others. He leaves behind a pregnant wife and 2 young children, a family now forced to navigate life without their loving husband and father. His courage and sacrifice are remembered by colleagues and friends, who recall his unwavering dedication to both his duty and his family. Wesley LePatner, a devoted mother and respected Blackstone employee, was killed while seeking safety. Her colleagues remember her as a source of inspiration and warmth, and her child faces a future without a mother's guidance and love. The loss of her presence is felt deeply at home and in the workplace. Two other victims, whose names have not yet been released, were also taken in this senseless act, one in the building's lobby, another on the 33rd floor. Their families and friends wait in anguish, mourning lives cut short before their stories could fully unfold. Each victim was more than just a name. They were friends, colleagues, and loved ones. Their laughter, kindness, and dreams are now memories, leaving a void that cannot be filled. Craig Clementi, who was shot while simply heading home, remains in critical condition. His fight for survival has become a symbol of hope for many, as loved ones and strangers alike pray for his recovery and hold on to the possibility of healing amidst heartbreak. The NFL and Blackstone, both deeply affected by the tragedy, have come together to mourn their own. They have offered support and comfort to the grieving families, standing in solidarity as they honor the memories of those lost. These stories reveal the true cost of violence, not just in numbers, but in the lives ended, families shattered, and futures erased. The pain lingers in every empty chair, every silent room, and every plan left unfinished. The tragedy's impact has rippled outward, touching workplaces, neighborhoods, and homes across the city. The sense of loss is shared by all who knew the victims, and by many who did not, as the city mourns together. In the end, the loss is measured not in numbers, but in the lives and dreams cut short, and in the love that endures even in the face of unimaginable grief. Inside 345 Park Avenue, the voices of survivors echo through the halls, each one revealing the profound human toll of the ordeal. In the midst of chaos, fear, and confusion, these stories offer a window into the emotional landscape of that harrowing night. Huddled in darkness, people clung to their phones, desperately texting loved ones. Each message was heavy with uncertainty, as many feared these might be their final words. The glow of screens became a lifeline, a fragile connection to the outside world and to hope. Jessica Chen's simple "I love you" to her parents captured the raw emotion of the night. For her, and for so many others, those 3 words carried the weight of everything left unsaid, a desperate attempt to reach out across the darkness. The silence inside was broken only by the distant wail of sirens and the soft, trembling voices of strangers offering whispered encouragement. In those moments, people who had never met before became each other's support, sharing quiet words of comfort and solidarity. One employee recalled the moment gunshots rang out. At first you think it's construction, just some loud noise in the building. But then, as the reality sets in, your heart starts racing. Then you hear the screams, raw, panicked, and unmistakable. The sound of terror spreads faster than the news itself, and suddenly, everyone is running, searching for safety wherever they can find it. Not knowing the shooter's location, anxiety and helplessness gripped everyone. The uncertainty was suffocating as people crouched under desks or pressed against walls, listening for any sign of danger or rescue. Barricaded behind tables and chairs, people waited in fear, every second stretching into eternity. Some whispered prayers, others tried to steady their breathing, all hoping for the sound of help arriving. Relief finally came when police arrived, their presence a beacon of hope in the chaos. But as survivors emerged into the night, past flashing lights and news cameras, the trauma lingered, etched into their faces and memories. "Walking out, you just felt numb," Chen said, her voice barely above a whisper. The reality of what had happened was only beginning to sink in, the shock and disbelief mingling with relief. These voices, raw and unfiltered, tell a story of terror, connection, and the desperate will to survive. In the aftermath, survivors found comfort in each other, their shared experience forging bonds that would last long after the night ended. City officials and corporate leaders responded swiftly, united in grief and resolve. Mayor Eric Adams honored Officer Islam's bravery and vowed justice for all victims. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch detailed the chaos and praised the NYPD's courageous response. Blackstone and the NFL expressed sorrow, supporting employees and families affected. Vigils and statements reflected a city mourning together, determined to heal. The tragedy drew a collective response from government, corporations, and the public. In the aftermath, New York's leaders stood together, offering support and solidarity. The attack struck at the core of New York's corporate and cultural heart. 345 Park Avenue, home to global firms, symbolizes American commerce and ambition. Its location near landmarks like Rockefeller Center and St. Patrick's Cathedral magnified the shock. Midtown's vibrant streets fell silent, replaced by sirens and police lockdowns. The attack disrupted daily life, closing streets and halting commutes for thousands. Even in a city used to chaos, the violence was a jarring intrusion. The choice of target was deliberate, a blow to a symbol of power and security. The impact rippled far beyond the building, shaking the city's sense of safety. Amid horror, those inside 345 Park Avenue showed courage and unity. Colleagues helped each other, barricading doors and sharing comfort in the darkness. First responders rushed in, their bravery a beacon amid chaos. The city's emergency response was swift, saving lives and restoring order. As the danger passed, New Yorkers mourned together, vigils, memorials, and moments of silence honoring the victims. Officer Islam's sacrifice resonated deeply, uniting the city in grief. Yet resilience shone through. Survivors, responders, and citizens stood together. The scars remain, but so does the city's unbreakable spirit. Even in darkness, the lights of Midtown shine on, a symbol of hope and endurance.